I'm in Woodland Hills, California, and I'm at the Republican headquarters. And I'm sorry, I don't know your name.
My name is Lynn.
Lynn, and would you please tell me what you're voting for, what's in your heart, what you believe in?
I believe in holding yourself accountable for your life, taking responsibility for your life, taking ownership for your actions and what you do in your life. I firmly believe in, how can I say this without sounding like a sound bite? I believe in choices.
Okay.
I believe in the right to make a choice. I don't believe I should give up one right here in order to have another right there. In other words, I don't want to give up a choice over my wallet, just have a choice over my uterus.
Okay.
Okay,
got
and
it.
that sounds like an odd way of saying it.
Okay.
But, and I believe in being able to pursue the abundance that this country has. It's not, all too often we suffer from a lack, an attitude of lack rather than an attitude of abundance.
Mm-hmm.
We do have opportunities here. The people, I don't think, take ownership of those opportunities. They don't take ownership of education.
Mm-hmm.
And I firmly believe that you don't give a hand out, you give a hand up. And that hand up means education and opportunity. You can't expect someone to achieve the same successes without having done the same actions and made the same efforts. And my one concern is that as we lower our, I shouldn't say we lower, but as we appear to penalize people for their successes, my concern will be that they'll start to lower their expectations, or they'll start to lower the reasons for achieving success, because they're going to get dinged. If I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to earn my income and achieve a success, and someone else is, working equally as hard, but if I've achieved success, I will gladly share with you an opportunity to achieve those successes. But at the same time, I don't expect for you to partake of those same successes if you haven't made the same effort. You can't achieve what I've achieved if you haven't done what I've done.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
So, but then you start to fall into the Pareto rule, which is 20% of the people do 80% of the work.
That's true. I think it's actually 90-10. But
yeah. Okay. I can see the number on that. But I really, voting is a privilege, and it is a duty. And quite honestly, for a long time, I didn't vote.
Oh wow!
Mostly because I used a P.O. box.
Okay.
For my primary address. Okay. And the powers that be would not didn't like that too much.
They didn't deliver a ballot to that?
No. The P.O. boxes are not acceptable forms of permanent address.
Is it just in the state, or?
I know in L.A. County.
Okay.
In L.A. County, so it wasn't that I didn't want to vote. It was just I used a P.O. box.
Okay.
This particular election I'm a little bit more involved with because I have some very specific goals, some very specific endeavors I'm trying to pursue, and not that the president-elect will necessarily have as much effect on the outcome, but it does kind of affect my attitude, because then it's going to make me think, okay, well, if person A is elected, I can pursue those goals with fervor. If person O is elected, might take my time a little bit and make sure that I either, if I'm blessed enough to be successful, cap it at a certain point until that person is termed out.
Yeah.
Or if I am that blessed, I would seriously, as a business person or as a baby entrepreneur, potential business person, look at moving overseas, because that's going to be options that people who are being dinged or possibly being dinged for being successful will have to look at. And that's unfortunate. And granted, that's a worst case scenario. It may not necessarily go as dire as that direction, but it's unfortunate that we try to tell people you can do anything. You can aspire to do anything. You can achieve anything you want if you put your mind to it. But don't get too successful, otherwise you're going to get penalized.
Okay. So that's the issue for you right there. That's the heart of it.
Yeah, that's part of it. The reason, and I was born and raised a Democrat.
Uh-huh.
I was actually, the logic, the explanation given to me was Republicans are rich, Democrats are poor. We're poor, therefore we're Democrat. They explained this to me. I didn't question it. It wasn't until I started to get an education and started to realize I had some goals and I had some dreams and I can achieve those goals and I can pursue those dreams that I looked at. Well, wait a minute. I'm the one getting up and working for this money. I'm up at 5:30 in the morning, earning my income, and when you break it down, the first, like January to May, you're working for your taxes.
Yeah, right. I think
When
that's
you
what it is.
break it down daily, the first 3 hours that you work are to pay your taxes.
Okay.
Then you take into account your lunch hour, which you do not get paid for,
Yeah.
and your breaks, 10 to 15 minutes, you do not get paid for, which means you're basically putting in a 12-hour day to earn 4.5 hours worth of work. That's unfortunate, but then when you start to get into a higher income, you're getting dinged, and you're still putting out that kind of effort to achieve your goals. I have a problem with that. I have a real problem with that, and that's the reason why I'm so passionate about this particular election. And I knew that just voting wasn't enough.
Participating.
But I had to participate because I looked at it kind of a left-handed logic. I lose the right to bitch if all I do is vote.
So as we knock this out, as we wrap this up, any messages to Republicans, Democrats, Libertarians, anything as we knock this out?
Get out there and vote. And you know what? Not just get out there and vote. Look at the issues and not the rhetoric.
Okay.
Understand why you're voting for what you're voting for. Don't vote for someone just because he's black. Don't vote for someone just because he's a war veteran. Look at what you agree with. Look at what you disagree with. Weigh them out. Understand where your position is and where you fall in alignment. And you're not going to fall in alignment with everything. You really aren't. But if you feel like you're at least 80% in alignment with those core values, then it's your you know what, it is your privilege. It's a privilege to get out there and not just make your voice heard, but really take a stand. This is again accountability, responsibility, and taking a stand for your life, and voting is part of that.
I appreciate your time. That was awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.